Good evening and welcome to this evening's Beloved Isle Artist Talk. Today's date is the 20th of April, 2022. I would like to welcome you all. My name is Monica Booth. Tonight's Artist Talks and panelists would be Natalia Martin de Pabelos and Ms. Dion Scotland Rivero. Welcome, ladies, and also welcome to our guests who have joined in this afternoon. We will begin with welcoming Ms. Natalia to begin her presentation. Just before we start, I would like to give you a bit of insight about the Beloved Isle exhibition that we have on display. And just tonight we will just be focusing on getting the story behind the art, straight from the artists themselves, and also we will be discussing the exhibition and the major themes that reveal the inspiration and process behind their pieces. The exhibition is located on the website. It will be available on display between the rotating exhibition spaces, which is the Cayman Brac Reef Resort and also the Little Cayman Museum. The exhibition focuses around photographs of works from 41 local artists, who captures the unique environments and people of the sister islands. Collectively, the images dissect the natural land spaces, expansive seascapes, historic architecture, and the traditions of the Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. The project was developed to celebrate our land of soft, fresh breezes, which provides a source of endless inspiration to many of local talented artists. Okay, Ms. Natalia, you may begin, and I will allow you to share your screen. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. If I know how to do it. No sé cómo hacerlo. No, pero eso... No, pero eso no. I'm sorry. Okay, hang on. Wait. What? Sorry about this. This wonderful exhibition is this turtle in front of the Captain Tibet's wreck in Cayman Brac. And I remember, it's funny how when a photographer is going to do take an image, I remember a single detail of most of my images for some reason, not all of them, but the special ones I do. And I remember in this particular one, we left Little Cayman to go to the Brac on the dive boat. And I had done the wreck before. So I was really looking forward doing it again. And I got ready before anyone else. And when we got there, and I jumped in the water. I was the only one in the water. So it was really magnificent to see the wreck. And it was a beautiful day and the light was coming through, and all of a sudden I just see this turtle. And I was like, oh my God, you know, this is like the best gift that I could have had because it was munching on this piece of sponge. So I went down, prepared my camera really quickly for a portrait shot. It was f-stop, it was 5, and it was 1/125th of a second. And I always use ISO 100. And in case someone is interested in knowing the settings of the camera. And I was taking a fisheye lens, which is my favorite for underwater photography. And so I just placed myself in front of it and start shooting, and just saw that she wouldn't move or he wouldn't move. I was just lowered the strobes and took a little bit more of time to make sure I only had like feeling light to just have it the most natural that I could have had. And I just had an amazing time with the turtle. And the gift was that I had some good images to take home with me, but the whole process of taking the image is so special. And I also like land photography, but underwater has this added bonus of having an animal completely oblivious to you and just let you approach it and take this this image that I'm very grateful that the National Gallery is showing. And hopefully a lot of people will be able to see the magnificence that the Cayman Islands waters have to offer, although it's only a little window, this image of everything else that is there. So for the image in itself, that's pretty much the story that is behind. And I love just diving in. I go to Little Cayman. I have a house there, and I go as much as I can. And hopefully one day maybe I will be able to stay. And the inspiration is limitless, both on the surface and the water. And yeah, I have some other images that I would like to share with you. If you would like to see a little bit more of my work, and I'm gonna do that now if I can. Ahora sí. This is the image of the exhibition. And there's the turtle that became my friend for like 5 minutes and gave me a wonderful memory. And the light around it, it's just wonderful. I was, it's always a combination of luck and looking for the image, and I think I just had everything on this one. So, and the wreck behind, just wonderful. So now what I'm going to show you some other samples of other photos of the images that I have. And you can see that in some of them, I have been starting to play with paintings, and because now I paint, so these works behind me, that's what I do now, as much as photography. And in some of these images, you can see just only a photograph, but I started to play around with textures over the years, and I just made a little show of them for you to see. Ahora, ¿cómo lo hago? Compartir. No. Here they are. This one was in an exhibition here in Foto España. Can you see them? Can you see the images?
Not as yet.
Oh,
I think you need to press, there's a blue button that says share,
here.
the green button, yes.
Okay. Now you can see them?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this one here was in an exhibition in Foto España here in Madrid, and I already started using textures. So these are some other things that I've done over the years. This is a little Cayman the last month. This is a little Cayman last month. This is a little Cayman, but this is from 3 years ago. This obviously, this is here in Madrid, also here. So I've started to, I always like to try new things and see where it takes me. And it took me, this is Little Cayman as well. This is Bahamas, but it could be. So about me, I'm just tell you quickly that, well, I was born in Spain and moved to London when I was 17 and went to school and university and went into financial markets for 8 years and completely knew at the end that it wasn't for me. So I started traveling the world and became a diving instructor. And then without knowing what to do, I started to work as an underwater photographer, and one thing led to another, and I just loved it. I found it in underwater photography a sort of a meditation, and it helped me to overcome many things that life throws at you. And now I do it for as a hobby, and I started painting during this pandemic, and I just loved it. And Little Cayman is my source of inspiration, such as the Nassau grouper that I have, or the tarpoons, and that's very much it. If you want to follow me in Instagram, my name there is Our Oceans, and yes, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, Natalia. That was wonderful. Is there any of our guests who has any questions for Natalia?
I have a question. What type of camera do you use? You got some very good shots there.
Thank you. Thanks very much. They are taken with different cameras, as they are from, I started with Canon 30D.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to the the 5D Mark III and the 5D Mark IV. And the lenses I use are fisheye 815, which is my favorite. And also I use some of those images are done with a 50mm lens, macro, Sigma, and also with a 16-28 Canon, which I don't like very much because it's not that as sharp as the fisheye that I use, and is my favorite of all times. So I'm a Canon girl.
Okay, so am I. Love my Canon.
Yes.
I'd like to ask one question. What inspired you? What inspires you most when you are taking your photographs?
If it's on the water, atmosphere. I like the atmosphere of the moment that I'm seeing. Even if, I mean, with macro, that's more difficult to get, obviously, but with a wide angle, I always look at the rays of light, the composition. I like to get the size of the size of the area that I am with, perhaps small subjects in it. What inspires me the most is the feeling that I get when I'm in a certain place. That's and the light and the water light, absolutely. The animals, of course. So when I have, like, I have this image in my head that I want to take next time I'm in Luqueman next month, and it's about a ray with some perfects going with it. This fish that uses the ray, and there's a specific dive site that they have some of them, and it's just bank of sand and with them. And last time I was there, I had the perfect image because I was just waiting there for like 10 minutes and they became right up to me. They got used to me. So I could have taken the image that I want to take, which I think I probably won't be able to, because whenever you say that you want to take that kind of shot, it's almost impossible, but I certainly are going to try. And the whole atmosphere of being underwater on this amazing space and these animals just doing their thing and in symbiosis one to another is really inspired me. So that's one example.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce Ms. Dion Scotland Rivero. Ms. Dion has a lovely piece as well, and she will be talking a bit more about her photograph and also a bit about herself, and she can possibly tell us a bit more about her Caymanian culture, which looks a lot like the inspiration came from a historic site that maybe you could tell us a little bit about that area.
Okay. Sure. I also have, I just opened up a file, so I have some other pictures I can show as well. So yeah.
You can share your screen whenever you're ready. Thank you.
All right. So my name's Dion. I'm an amateur photographer. I'm self-taught. I've been into photography for the last 20 years, a little bit more. I don't want to age myself. But I'm a Canon girl. I started out with a 30D. And I've just, in the past year, my 30D decided I'd worn it out. So I got a 7D, oh no, wait, a Canon 7, Mark 7. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so nervous. But I got a new camera, a secondhand one, because I'm saving up for a new mirrorless. So my favorite photos to photograph would be landscapes, animals, nature, the historic buildings that we have here, just anything that catches my eye, really. I love Cayman history, so I collect Cayman books, so I just try to capture what I can of what's left of our history, hence the photo that I'm going to share. Let's see if I can do this. Let me see. Let me see, where is it? Share screen. So this is the photograph. Can you see it? Yeah, okay. So
Yes.
this is the photograph that is on exhibition from the National Gallery, which I'm so honored to have it selected. This photograph is of Mr. Foster's house out in Kimmenbrack. This day, I remember it like yesterday. This was taken like 12 years ago, but it was a overcast day, rain, there was thunder and lightning, and I remember we were just driving around, and the rain by that time had stopped. And I tend to photograph a lot of the old Caymanian homes. I love the architecture. I just think they're just the most gorgeous homes that there are. This one in particular caught my attention just because of the gloomy overcast day. The tall grass, as you can see, with the pink and the peach and the cream colors, just brought the photo to life. And typically when I take my photographs, I do minimal editing. This one is actually straight from the camera. The only thing I had to do with it was just kind of straighten it a little bit. But I typically, for me, I don't like just to stand and shoot. I just like to get things from different angles. So this one, I was down in the depths of this grass all over me, but it just captured what the beauty that I saw of this house. And I think the colors of the grass just brings more color, and it just adds to this photograph to make it special. And I absolutely love this. It just highlights all of the architectural detail and just how simple but yet eloquent it is. So this is one of my favorites. I've got other houses that I've taken photos of. But yeah, that was a while back. But yes, so this is, like I said, one of my favorites that I have to date with the houses. I can go on to another one. The lens that I used, I believe, was just the kit lens that came with my camera. It wasn't anything, it was just, we were driving and I'm just like, you know what, let me try this and see what happens. And a lot of my photos, like I have an idea as to how I want to capture it. My motto is I strive to take photos that are striking when first looked at and remembered thereafter. And it basically stems from my love of National Geographic, because their photographs are always capture, they just capture attention and you remember them. And so one day I hope to get published, whether it's on social media or in their magazine, but that's my goal. But yeah, so I'll go on to another one. I also do infrared photography. And basically, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but in order to capture infrared, you have to have a special lens filter that it just captures through the infrared lighting. So I would have to go in and edit these, because they typically, when you take a picture, they'll come out in different shades of red and pink. So this one I edited with the blue sky and the silver palms. This is another one from the BRAC as well, which is another one of my favorites. But I love the BRAC. So I just got back from the BRAC yesterday. So this was one that was taken out at Long Beach, but typically everyone gets it facing the sea. This one, I just wanted a different angle of the landscape, and this is facing towards the land instead, because I just thought with the green of the brush along the bluff edge, it just highlights the beauty of it. And then I don't know if you can see, but there's a booby bird in flight. So, and then this is, everyone has a different name for this rock, but to me, I called it George Washington because it looks like side profile of George Washington. But if you can see, there are booby birds adorned all along the top as well. But I just love anything nature. So I've got a bit of sunsets, a bit of landscapes. Unfortunately, I don't do underwater. I have a fear of water. When I get to a certain level, I panic. So unfortunately, I can't do underwater. I've tried, but no, won't happen. and then just sunsets and just, I have a drone, so I'm now doing aerial shots because I just want the different perspective of things. And this picture here is actually on a calm day at low tide of the East End blowholes. So this is what it looks like above when it's not doing its thing. So it's super pretty. And I didn't realize how clear and how crystal and blue it is from up above. And this is another one. This is out at the blowholes as well. This is offshore from the blowholes. And then this is out at East End as well. Just different aerial views. And then another sunset as well. So this one's at Pedro Castle at sunsets. I think this is like probably a New Year picture 2 years ago. So that was a sunset. And I think those are the few that I have to show. But yeah, so like I said, it's just a wide variety. I do a lot of animals and I'm just out there whenever I have time between work and my son and my family, just trying to capture as much as I can. And especially with our historic buildings. I had another one. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Another architectural one. This is a bluff view. But here's another one. This one is located downtown by Royal Bank. And this is another one that I got to capture. And I hope they get to keep it and preserve it because it's very important for our history and our kids to see what the architecture that we had. And yes, we've advanced, but it's also good to preserve and just keep it for the books and just be appreciative of what we have. And I'm glad that this exhibit shows what was back, you know, the architecture and how we have advanced, but it's still here and we can preserve it and just keep it for history and for everyone else to learn and love and appreciate the way we do. And then my turtle. This was at a turtle release about 15 years ago when they used to release them on public beach. Now it's not as common because it would be like usually every Pirates Week we would have turtle releases and everyone would crowd around and you would get a turtle to release. Now it's different. They do it more private and you have to buy tickets to get to witness one of these. But I was fortunate enough to be there and get to photograph this turtle that they had raised and got to release. So that's me. I just have to figure out how do I stop sharing.
All right, I can help you. Would you like to tell us, Dion, a little bit about yourself? Like, how often do you, a bit about your culture, how often do you get a chance to do photographs and shoot a lot of your imagery?
Well, I was born and raised in Grand Cayman. My mom's from the BRAC. My dad is from Jamaica, but he's lived here ever since he was 10. So we grew up in Bordentown, and I am the history buff of the family. I collect Cayman books, and like I said earlier, just anything historical with Cayman I love. I am a laboratory technician for the Water Authority, so I work in the lab and I test the water, and we do a whole bunch of other things as well. So like I said, I've done photography the past 25 years. And I would say for me to get out and do photography, since having my son, it's not as common or not as often as before. But I would say once or twice a month for a couple hours, I get to go out. I do take my camera with me or my drone. Most of the times with me, just sometimes I just stop and a lot of my friends just see me pulled over on the side and go, oh, she's taking pictures. So just whenever I get the time. But lately I would say once or twice a month. So yeah, but I've got my drone, my camera, My favorite lens is my 200, 500 millimeter, which it died on me over the weekend in the BRAC. So it's a 15-year-old lens. So I think it's done its course. So save up for a new one. So, but yes, it's a little bit about me. Any other questions or?
Thank you, Dion. Miss Kate, do you have any questions that you would like?
I was just thinking, actually, you know, it's wonderful to see the photographs of the old buildings and the historical significance, because we know that they are, you know, they're in the minority now. I mean, I've only been coming to the island 25 years and have seen such a massive change in the island. Would you consider putting a book together and, you know, just to really, so all that work that you've done, it would be wonderful for people to see.
I actually have 2 books that I would love to do and publish. One with the Cayman homes and another with Catboat and the Catboat history. I have a lot of pictures, a lot of the houses, some of Catboats. My husband has been pushing me to do this book for the last 10 years. So it's in the works. So I'm just hoping that in the next year or so I can gather all the information that I need and to get it published. But yes, it is definitely needed. And I have, like I said, quite a bit of photographs and where it's in the works.
Great, good, glad to hear that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just going to share some images of the artist's work. Natalia, I have a question for you. I noticed that you have this shot in black and white. What inspired you to do it in black versus black and white versus color?
I just love black and white. It just talked to me most when I took the color out and just left the turtle and the shade of the wreck behind and the light on the sand. It's just it's just taking all the importance of the color out and just leaving the black and white. I do that very often in my photography, and sometimes I leave the color, but for me, I would pretty much leave black and white everything. But yeah, that's the reason, really, to take on the contrast of the light with the wreck and the surface and the different patterns in the turtle and the blacks and the lights. It just talked to me a lot more that way.
Both of these images and pretty much all of your photographs are beautiful. I can't stress enough the nature and, you know, preserving, as I've said, history in just one click. Like, it is amazing, and it allows a lot of us to encourage our younger generation to take opportunities that are out there, you know, with just being photographers and capturing a lot of memories that won't be around for a very long, like a lot, just years to come. you know, seeing this boat at the back, it obviously the day that that happened, that was probably like a beautiful boat at that time, and now it's now become like a historic dive section, you know, for these wonderful turtles to just live and hibernate if needed.
And for us, for the divers to go and explore it, and it's a wonderful wreck. I love it. It's one of my favorites. You can see all the engine from above and all the details, and it just sits so well on the sand, and is one of my favorite dive sites. We don't get to do them very often, but hopefully the children will be able to see it from all different sides, you know, and also go there themselves and experience the magnificence of being underwater in front of this wreck, which is a memory that you don't forget, and they deserve to go and see that.
Natalia, I know you said you were a dive instructor, and I can swim. I can definitely swim. For you to capture these type of images, are you free diving at that time, or do you provide, like, what are you equipped with at when you are going out to take these photographs, and how do you prepare yourself?
I go with the diving equipment. I would love to be able to do it in free diving, but I'm not able to do that. You have to prepare yourself. You have to work on your buoyancy, on the way that you move underwater, and you have to work on your breathing, such as to dive normally, and to dive with a camera, you don't, when you take the image, you don't breathe exactly the same. You breathe more. You want to keep really still without damaging anything around you with your fins, because the organisms and the living animals that are underwater are very delicate, so you have to be very careful, and also not to leave to make all the sun go up and ruin your image, because once the sun goes up, it takes a long time to settle. So the only way to do it is to have experience, dive a lot, be aware of your surroundings, and work on your breathing, and be very calm, because if you're not calm, it's just not gonna work. The animal is gonna feel your movements erratic. The animals always spook themselves. It's very difficult for many animals to get them in the front. You usually only end up getting the back of the animal, and so in my experience, the best way is to be very calm, have experience, be aware of your surroundings, and then eventually you get there. It's not difficult, it's just experience. It's really not difficult. It's just doing it and being patient with yourself, and giving yourself the chance to be able to do it properly, like I think pretty much everything in life.
What would you say was your most terrifying image, or how, like, the experience that it was in order for you to capture the image?
I don't have a terrifying moment to capture an image. It's just sometimes you just better not take an image than than being in a situation where you put yourself in danger, you know, or you just don't take it. I really
When I
don't have.
say that, I mean like sharks or.
Oh, I love sharks. I love sharks. You know, I used to work in for Stewart Coast in Bahamas as a photographer and videographer on the shark feed, and they are wonderful. I mean, there are some sharks that can be potentially dangerous in certain given circumstances. So I'm not gonna say that it's a wild animal. So, but the sharks that used to dive there I remember in the first time when I just joined, they took me just as an experience, and I was horrified. I didn't take my camera or anything. I was just for me to get used to have sharks around, and straight away, as soon as I just settled myself on the sand and started looking at them, I realized that they were not interested in me at all. They were just interested in the environment, in the things that were around, and slowly I became calm. And then the next day I went down with the camera, and then I started to become a bit more closer to them. And because they do a circle, so the sharks hang around that circle, so they are, you know where they are. It's not like they can be everywhere. And then the day after that, I joined the circle inside, and the sharks were all over. I could feel the fins passing through my face, and it was just wonderful. But it was a progressive thing. I mean, in the beginning, I was very, very scared of the sharks, obviously, because we all have this wrong conception, unfortunately, that the sharks are evil, and they're not. They are wonderful. And so on that particular situation, I don't have. Well, actually, now it comes one into my mind, and it was once that we were doing the photography of this shark group, and I was doing a zenithal shot from above, and it was a place where we didn't used to go very often, and there was this female that they are bigger than the males and the water, and she didn't like the strobes at all, and she came up to me and bumped on the strobes, like telling me to go away, and then my heart started go fast. But it, I understood the reason why, and it was fine. But yes, that could be the most terrifying experience I ever had, a shark bumping into my strobes because she didn't like the light of them.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for providing us with that info. And I'm going to share Miss Dion's lovely image.
It's wonderful.
So Miss Dion, I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
I know that you said you're not typically interested in too many underwater images, but what would you consider yourself? Do you like daytime photography, or what would you say was the most horrific moment or photograph that you had taken that you had to use a lot of points and areas?
First off, the noise you hear in the background, it's my bird. He is letting me know the sun is setting. He wants to get covered up, so I apologize. He's screaming.
That's fine.
For me, one of my challenges is I like to go deep in the depths of the bush. And I've gotten myself stuck where I've gotten in, I've climbed over the limestone, and I've gone through and I'm in between maiden plum trees, and then I can't get back out. So a lot of times my husband will come with me. So he's, he'll get stuff ready. He'll have like, extra bags or like car shades so that he can put over something so I can make my way back out, because I get myself in all sorts of awkward, I can't explain it, but I get tangled up, like I said, in weeds, and then I've got camera gear and I'm like, I need help. I got to get out. So, but I get the picture. And I haven't to date, knock on wood, gotten any maiden plum. I've been really close. I've brushed up against them, but not a bad maiden plum experience. So yeah, I'll climb half of the tree. Just, I want to get that shot. And like, you don't think about it until after. It's like, well, how did I get up here? Or how did I get down here? I have to get back out. So yeah, I'm adventuresome. I've gotten caught in barbed wire fence. My shirt got caught, but I got out even though it was ripped. But hey, just I got my shot. So yeah. But I always have stuff with me because I've got like a little knee board for my knees, and just I know when I go to take pictures, I'm not wearing my best jeans or anything because I'm gonna come back messy or torn or ripped. So yeah, my husband's quite used to me coming home looking all, just a mess. So yeah.
I can completely understand with that.
Yeah.
Being not a photographer, but someone who
Yeah.
likes to get messy, I can
Yeah,
definitely.
and I lose track of time. I'll say I'm going for half an hour, I'm going for an hour, and then 2 hours later, I'll get a call. Are you done yet? I'm like, it's been that long, huh? Oops, sorry, I'm on my way. So yeah.
Any of our guests have any questions in regards to the image?
I think it's an absolutely stunning image. I love the perspective. I love everything about it. I would love to have it in my home. It is beautiful. You have
Thank you.
which you said that you made this with the lens that came with the camera.
Yes, it's the, let me look at it because I've got it right here. It's my 18 to 55 millimeter lens.
1855.
Yeah, and that was with my 30D, my Canon 30D. Yeah, but
So you don't, it just shows that it doesn't matter what you use if
no,
you know what you want to take. That,
yeah,
and it is wonderful. I just wanted to say congratulations.
thank you, thank you. I love your turtle, by the way. The black and white, that the contrast on that one fin, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
It gives it that pop, and it just draws you in.
Thank you very much. Sometimes I'm not very good with words. I'm better with with what I do than that, but I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Both of your images speak a lot of volume, and I see that you both have a great passion for what you do, and I just want to say congratulations, and continue to provide and preserve and also just protect what we have. It is amazing to see that you both are a part of history to come for my future generations, and I can also relate these type of messages to them, because every single photograph tells a story. And I really love every single one of your images that have been shot. I see that it takes a lot of work, and like you have said, both have said, it takes experience, and I do hope that you all will continue to inspire our youth to continue exploring options and carrying on a lot of these great, wonderful hobbies or, you know, roles that you play just to, as your everyday entrepreneur lifestyle. I think it's amazing what you offer, and continue to shine bright.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, there's no more, and there's no more questions. I think that this will be the end. Ms. Kay, do you have any questions that you would like to ask, or is there anything that you would like to say?
Just thank you. It was really inspiring to see that, you're capturing so much nature and history. It's lovely. It's lovely for me as an artist, because although it's a different art form, I feel really inspired.
Well, thank you. And thank you, National Gallery, for having this exhibition so that we can show our work and just get it out there, and just, let people appreciate what is here in all 3 islands. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, ladies. We really appreciate having the opportunity to showcase the wonderful work that artists do around the island. And it also helps us to keep motivated as well, to do what we do for our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.